Well, next, joining us live now is 13-time National Elevator Pitch Champion, Precious Williams,
You at 10, okay.
CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious, who has been featured on Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, Black Enterprise magazine, Essence magazine, and in the movie Leap. In the DFS gift shop is Precious's first book, and her second book will be available this April. Today, Precious is joined by our Executive Director of Dress for Success Northern New Jersey, Dr. Kimberly Iozzi, for a sit-down interview. And after the interview, they will be here taking questions from the audience. So don't forget to enter your questions during their interview by clicking on the bar below the player and press send. Now, please welcome Precious and Kim.
Hello there, Precious. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here with you today. I really appreciate it. And I just have so much to ask you. I'm going to jump right in, okay?
No problem. Bring it.
So since we first met, I have been dying to ask you, what exactly is a pitch master and how do you become one?
Well, I became the killer pitch master in 2013. And I believe the best way to become a pitch master is to actually master the art of pitching, not just one form, not just two forms, but all forms of pitching. That means elevator pitch, media pitch, investor pitch, speaker pitch, and interview pitch. How does one go about it? Well, when I look back over my life, I was kind of pushed into it because no one would invest money in my company, no, not family, not friends, not anyone I knew when I started my first company. And so I went to the New York Public Library at 34th and Madison, and I met a woman who won $50,000 in prize money. And I looked at her, I listened to her pitch, and I was like, I'd smoke her. And I just believed I could. And so my first pitch was to the producers at a big media network. And I was surprised that they loved it so much that they brought me on national television. And so at the end of the day, I think when it comes to pitching, being confident in who you are and putting yourself out there constantly and consistently and being visible and showing that no matter what comes, you are ready to pitch yourself, your book, your brand, your business, your product or service.
Excellent. Thanks, Precious. Now, if you don't mind, can you share a little bit more about your personal journey that led you to be here today? Award-winning, two-time author, you're in commercials now. How did it all happen?
You know what? Great question. So I am from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri, the ghetto. To people who do not know, I grew up in a very dark situation. My mother was severely physically and emotionally abusive. My father was a crack cocaine addict, and so that's not a great situation for a young woman to grow up in. And on November 18th, 1991, my mother nearly beat me to death. And it's funny, that was 30 years ago. And I'm looking back, that's so crazy. And so then I was sent to go live with my father. And when you're living with a drug addict, that's a very dark situation. And I just felt so bad. I felt like I didn't even need to be on this earth. I was hurting so bad because I didn't feel loved. You know, when I was told by my mother, I wish you were never born, you're ugly, you're stupid. But the only place I felt good at was at school. That's the only place I felt good. So at 15 years old, my grandparents stepped in and asked my father, could they take me in? And I didn't want to go because they were old. When I say it's the best decision I never made, best decision. I went from not knowing where my meals were coming from to always knowing that they were going to be there. I went from being yelled at and cursed out to having a grandmother I'm named after my grandmother, to her twinkling my toes in the morning, having my bathwater ran, and, having a home-cooked breakfast before she drove me to school in the hood. And, she just tell me, you are such a great speaker. When you speak, people just listen. And I'm looking at her like, that's my grandmother, so I can't say anything. But, if she's saying it, maybe it could be true. At 16 years old, the principal of my high school, Principal Floyd Cruz, came to me, and he wanted me to speak at an event. I had no idea it was before the mayor of the city of St. Louis, Freeman Bosley Jr. at the time. And my teacher wrote my speech. I never looked at it beforehand, but when I spoke, I just embodied the words. I can't even explain it. And it did such a great job that my next speaking engagement was before the governor of Missouri. And I'm looking back like I didn't even take it for what it was worth because I was 16, 17. Nobody, you don't think at that age, but that was really setting me up. And I was being paid to do it. Can we say that? I wanted to go to Spelman College in Atlanta, and I was going to be I am a first generation college student. No one in my family had ever been to college. I was told I wouldn't get in. Not only did I get in, I got a full scholarship. And I made it out in 4 years with 3.6 GPA, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, with a degree in English and a minor in art history, pre-law. Got a full scholarship to Georgetown University Law Center. I got kicked out in 2002. Started over at Rutgers School of Law in 2003, had a nervous breakdown in 2004, and somehow managed in my last semester to be the #1 student attorney. Finished December 15, 2006, took the February 2007 bar, passed May 4th, and walked the stage, graduating on May 25th, 2007. Became an attorney in the great state of New York. Hated it. And finally found my way when I started my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, which again, no one believed in. I was 327 pounds. That's what grief and depression will do to you when you look back over your life. You're like, oh, I messed up. And whoever knew that a 327-pound Black woman from St. Louis, Missouri, whose first pitch was before the producers at MSNBC's Your Business with JJ Ramberg, would go on and in 54 seconds walk away with $500,000. Then they told me to enter pitch competitions. And out of 14 competitions, I was chosen as first 13 times. And so at my last competition, the Black Enterprise National Elevator Pitch Competition, I was first, and Robert Townsend and MC Light named me the killer pitch master because I slay all competition. And so life was good. You know, Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, movies, documentaries, flying all over the world. Okay, your girl was being flued out. And then the love of my life died, who inspired my first company, and I lost my mind. I started drinking, and then I drank to excess and then became a severe alcoholic. I lost everything, my home, jewelry, anything that would make a woman feel like she's somebody. I lost it all, and I was reduced to almost taking my life on my 38th birthday. And I came out of that, and I realized who my friends were. I came back to New York, still homeless. And I had Joanne Francis from Bright Point Health, who got me into the Bowery Mission Women's Center. And that's how I came into contact with Dress with Success and Bottomless Closet. And I forgot who I was. I didn't think I was worthy. And in that 2-year journey of being in the program, Life Transformation Program, I came out of it feeling like a phoenix who was rising. And there were many people who told me to get a good job. There were many people, and I had a great high-paying job. I just didn't want it. I wanted to be Precious Williams again. And when I put on the clothes that I got from Dress with Success, I started to feel myself again. I started offering my speaking services. I started pitching to nonprofit organizations. And before I knew it, I was back being flued out around the world. I was working with some of the biggest companies in the world, the LinkedIns, the Googles, the Microsofts, the NBC Universals, the Intuit QuickBooks. And when I look back, oh, by the way, I've been clean and sober 4 years now, 4 years. So my 42nd birthday, all I could do was cry because no one could have prepared me that my experience with Dress with Success, my experience with losing it all, with a lot of people turning their back on me, that I would be where I am today. So that is my story. I never thought I'd be a 2-time #1 best-selling author. I never thought that I'd have my own 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. I never thought that in a pandemic and economic downturn and social unrest that I'd be where I am today. And so to anyone listening, it's not a sob story. This is why we rise and thrive. And when others gave up on me, I took my God-given gifts and talents and what Dress with Success taught me, and I rose again like the phoenix. And so that's my story in a nutshell.
Well, thank you. You always make me cry. I love that you were so candid and open with us, because you look at someone who's successful and you think they've had it easy, and there's always that self-doubt that says, I can't do that. I'm not as good as them. And when you share that story and you show just how vulnerable you were, you had also once said to me that we are not the sum total of our mistakes.
Nope.
Elaborate on that for me and the women watching.
I remember doing a LinkedIn Live because I have a LinkedIn Live show called Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster on Sundays, every Sunday on LinkedIn. And I woke up with that on my heart that I'm not the sum total of my mistakes. And there are some things I just need to let go of. How people keep bringing up my past, that's not about me, that's them. I'm who I am today. I've made mistakes, but they do not define me and they do not hold me back. That's why my story is so incredible to people, because a lot of people will hold on to those mistakes and be afraid to come out. And I'm like, I'm not afraid. In fact, by being transparent and authentic, I can show you how the mistakes that I made actually bring me closer to my audience, bring me closer to companies, corporations, nonprofits, and everything, because I'm not afraid for people to throw it in my face anymore. It's like, run, tell it.
Right.
I'm still here. And there's a song, is Elaine Stritch? I'm still here. I'm still here. And I'm not going to let you keep doing that, because God made a new creation in me. And I want every woman to know you're not the sum total of your mistakes. You're beautifully and wonderfully made. Go get your blessings and tune out your haters, because they're just sitting and watching. Might as well give them a show, right?
Thanks, Precious. So there's a poet, he's Persian, Hafiz, who said, "The words we speak become the house we live in." And something that stands out to me is your style. And when you speak, you do it with passion and with purpose, and you choose words wisely. The first time we ever spoke, you called me queen.
Oh, yes.
And I thought to myself, I'm no queen. What's she talking about? And you've said it time and time again. Good morning, queen. How are you, queen? You also talk about gratitude. These are words that are positive affirmations in how you speak every day. Why are words so important?
Because words really determine how high you fly. I know we think sticks and stones won't break, but words will never hurt me. They can't hurt. They can't hurt, but they can also uplift. They can also empower. It's like when I started Curvy Girls Lingerie. So many people are like, oh, big girls need love too. I'm like, no. If we change it from plus size women to full figure divas and plus size fashionistas, now you're like, whoa, who are these women? I'm like, I'm standing right in front of you. I know. It's hard to believe. I know it's hard to believe. And when I said I'm the female MacGyver of business, you give me 2 toothpicks, there's not a door, a window, a crack in the wall I can't go through. So when I put out affirmations every morning, when I speak positivity and empowering words over women, I think of women as queens. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what you've been through. You are still a queen, fearfully and wonderfully made as the masterpiece that God created. And so I think it's important that when I acknowledge the God and the goddess in you, that you feel it, because you're like, hold up, most people don't say that. I'm not everybody. Trust and believe that. I'm not everybody. And so neither are you. And when you embody that I am a queen, there are certain things that you won't do. You won't let people belittle you. You won't let people talk to you a certain way. You won't let people disrespect you, because you're like, hold up, I'm a queen. I don't have to take this. It's like I tell people, I got time today. I got time today. You got time because I got time today. So I believe that you can speak words of love, of empowerment and positivity over people, not toxic positivity, but you can speak great words over people. And just like my grandmother spoke words over my 15-year-old heart and soul, she broke through that hard shell and brought the emotion out of me. That's why I can cry at the drop of a dime, because I am grateful. I am appreciative. I am thankful that I'm still alive when a lot of the kids that I went to high school with are not. They're still dying every day. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Thank you. So speaking of words, signed editions of your first book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers. There it
Okay.
is. That is featured in our Dress for Success Northern New Jersey gift shop. Can you tell me a little bit about the book and what you think it means to be a bad bitch?
I know some people are just like, is that really the title? No, it is the title. Being a bad bitch is also about being unapologetic about who you are. I'm 42 years old. This society will have you thinking that I should be put out the pasture and just invisible. And what this book is about, unlike a lot of pitch books that just give you like formulas for how to say this, that, and the other, I want you to understand the psychology of pitching and what really brings life into you. Like, there's 7 branding personas in here, from being flawed to being power. Are you ruled by power? Are you ruled by flaws? Are you creative? Are you mysterious? Are you numbers driven? Like, what is it about you? And as you read through each chapter, you'll meet a woman that best represents that, right? And so once you start understanding, oh, this is more me. I also created a quiz that goes along with this, and you can go to www.pitchingforprofit.com. It's free. I promise you, it's free. And it helps you see where you stand in this book. And also, as you read through the book, you might also see you're a combination of things. Like, I'm a combination of the unstoppable bitch and the flawed bitch. Unstoppable because, listen, no matter what you do to me, I'm going to keep coming. It's impossible to stop a woman who will not quit. I'm also flawed because I never lived up to the standards that society says I should have. And that has not stopped me. And I embrace my flaws because they're truly my secret weapon. Why? You never see me coming. So this book is really teaching the art and science of pitching, but also how to create the perfect pitch for yourself. And with my workbook companion, you'll start writing the pitches that work for you. So I don't care if you're looking for a job, if you've got an interview, or if you want to pitch to the media, or you are looking to pitch to investors, or if you're looking for what to say at a networking event that will truly help you stand out. This is a book for you. And you don't have to take my word for it. Forbes magazine reviewed this book positively. Publishers Weekly reviewed this positively, had a billboard in Times Square. And so this is a great book. It's not a throwaway book. I really put my heart and soul into it. And I would be honored if you all get this book and help out Just for Success too.
Thank you. So I have to ask, when's your next book coming out? What's it called? What's it about?
So my third book is called Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. And so once you have your pitches together, what comes next, right? So you're pitching, everything is good, but you need to know what the next step is. I want to show you how with your pitches, you can start to monetize your network. You can have people nominating you and speaking your name in places you didn't even know existed. You'll have people putting you up for speaking engagements that are never advertised. You'll have people nominating you for awards that you didn't even know you even qualified for. You have your name on VIP slips where they're coming to talk to you. You'll have companies and corporations seeking you out and looking to see what do you already have and how can they work with you. I show you how to build and rebuild relationships that, through time or through mistakes you might have lost, and build them back up. I show you how to create a VIP list and making sure that they always stay top of mind every month or every couple of months. You're writing to them differently than how you write to your mailing list. That way they know you're still grinding. They know that they can still help you. I show you how to really ask for help in ways that most people won't because they're too afraid to, or they're afraid to hear the answer no. You probably won't hear no by reading what's in that book. So Pitching for Profit, this is pitching over here. The third book is all about pitching for profit, increasing your sales, your revenue, but also making sure you're profiting from everything that you do. You're profiting from your relationships. You are actually turning those relationships into currency, not just coins, relationships into currency that you can trade on later or now.
Excellent. That sounds
It comes
really.
out April 13th, 2021. It's also available in pre-sales now.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have to get that information so we have it in our gift shop as well, because I'm
Oh,
sure.
definitely. If they go to Amazon right now, it's in pre-sales on Kindle.
Okay.
So if they go to Kindle and do pitching for profit, that my name will come up and they can get it on Kindle. Or we also have a hand signed paperback version. So again, they all come out on April 13th. But my vision is to make sure that that's actually a #1 bestseller also. And for those who really want a hand signed copy, that they get it too.
Excellent. So, I guess it doesn't matter if you're in sales or if you're in any field. Making the pitch is probably, I guess that is your elevator pitch when you're trying to promote yourself, when you're trying to stand out. So it's really for everybody.
It really is. And when you think about it, most people, all they know is who you are, what you do, who you serve. Like, Kim, Dr. Kim, would you like me to give you an example of what I may say in a networking event?
Yeah.
Okay. Me, 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 me. Ladies, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch. Fellas, raise your hands if you want to be a bad man with a master pitching plan. Well, then you've come to the right place. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And I literally am called the killer pitch master because I will help you slay all competition. I'm a world-class master communicator, a 13-time national elevator pitch champion who has successfully appeared on Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, movies, and documentaries around the world. As an international professional speaker and a corporate trainer for some of the top of the Fortune 500, I specialize in all forms of pitching, whether it's the elevator pitch, the media pitch, the investor pitch, the speaker pitch, and the interview pitch. When I say this is what we do, this is what we do. So if you want to slay all competition, I welcome you to come to my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com, and become that bad bitch with a power pitch or that bad man with a master pitching plan. My name is Precious Williams, and I am the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. Thank you.
Wow.
So do you see, that's very different from just saying, hi, I'm Precious Williams. This is what I do. Nobody wants to hear that. So when it comes to pitching, I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. I'm going to show you about pattern interrupts. I'm going to show you how to break up how people hear pitching. I'm going to show you how to have people all eyes on you like Tupac, and that they're really listening and they're hearing something different in you. Right. And so pitching isn't just what you see on Shark Tank. I've been on Shark Tank. 5 of my clients have been on Shark Tank. We don't sound like anything you've heard, anything, because it's like, wow. And when I was on Shark Tank, just to give y'all an example, Robert Herjavec said, when I finished, watching you is like watching a master at their craft. And I'm like, I'm Black too. And then Mark Cuban was like, you go, girl. I said, oh, I'm tailor-made for television. We're going to bring the drama, the energy, and the intensity. And I also want you to gain new clients, new customers by going against the grain, by standing out and being counted, by becoming visible, and by having people how to attract bait and close. And so that's the art of pitching. Most people can't teach you all of that. I can.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Just wow. So your story, Precious, everything you've shared with us today, your life's journey, it really is an incredible story of resilience.
Mhm.
And I feel embodies the theme of what this summit means to the many women joining us today.
Mhm.
I can't thank you enough for being with me. I could talk to you all day. I so much. But I know that I'm going to have to turn it back to Patricia to answer some questions that our audience has. I've enjoyed this so, so much. You're really, you're wonderful.
Thank you.
My queen. So thank you, Precious.
No, thank you, Dress for Success. Thank you for helping us rise and thrive.
Wonderful. Do you have any last thoughts before Patricia takes it over?
Yes, I want to tell all of the women that are listening, fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. So boldly go in the pursuit of your dreams, and every no will get you closer to that yes. And let your haters be your motivators. You know how I feel about that. Let your haters be your motivators. So as you go up from hearing them hate on you now, it's like, oh, I remember, I knew her. Yeah, we was cool back. It's cute. I'm still going to keep making moves. So if they're not in the fight with you, if they're not duking it out, they're not going in with you, I need you to focus on you, not them. Fortune favors the bold. Boldly say what you're going to do and move towards it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. All right, Patricia, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, Kim, thank you so much. And Precious, that was an amazing interview. I love let your haters be your motivators. That was really great. Great job doing the interview, Kim, and so much wonderful information about resilience in there, Precious. And I'm just so pumped watching that, and I hope that our viewers are too. And they've got lots of questions for you. So our first question for you, Precious, that one of our viewers is asking is, what advice do you have for somebody who wants to learn to become a pitch master? What would you say right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate, again, I want to take you back to take advantage of my free, it's called What's Your Next Power Pitch Play quiz. It's 6 questions. You get a customized report, and that will help you to uncover the best ways to start pitching, right? And so you'll get your customized report, and it'll show you, okay, you can start doing this, that, and the other, and it'll put you on a great path to getting started. I would also say, you can watch Shark Tank, check out other pitches that are online. You can actually check me out on YouTube. You'll see some of my pitches actually at different events, and you'll see how different that they can be.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is go to pitchingforprofit.com, take the 6-question quiz, get your customized report, and get to stepping. Also, my book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. This is a great primer on pitching and the psychology behind pitching, so that you build a solid foundation and not just run with, I just got to say this and that. You need a solid foundation so that no matter what happens, whether we're in the midst of a pandemic, an economic downturn, or social unrest, you can pivot on a dime and you're still ready to constantly be in pitch mode.
All right, terrific.
I hope that answers the question.
Terrific. Our next question is, what is one thing you should never, ever do on a pitch?
One thing you should never, ever, ever do on a pitch, never be boring. Never. Don't follow the crowd. Remember, a lot of people start off with their name and the name of their company. When I tell you don't nobody care about that, don't nobody care. You need to address the challenge that they're having before you offer the solution. Most people struggle with, they struggle with graphic design. They may struggle with writing something. They may struggle with this. Talk to the challenge first. Offer your solution. And then make sure to bring a story into it so they can see that they can relate to you, because either you've been there or those are the particular type of clients that you service. Always be ready to throw out the testimonials. Like I always tell people, you don't have to believe me. You go to LinkedIn and look at all my 100+ testimonials. You can look at the places where I've been, the places where my clients have been, and things like that. But don't be boring. Go out with passion, energy, and intensity. Start off bold and unexpected. Because when you're bold and unexpected, you force the audience to pay you attention. And when they're paying you attention, you got them in the palm of your hand.
Beautiful. Great advice. All right, the next question is, what do you do when something goes wrong or unexpected? You're prepared, you're doing great, and then all of a sudden something happens. How do you recover or not blank out or lose your space?
First of all, I want you all to know that things will go wrong. Whether you're in corporate America, whether you're working at a nonprofit, a foundation, things will go wrong. As a CEO, a serial entrepreneur, I can tell you with my first company, we were always putting out fires, and it really tests your mettle and it makes you tougher, right? So I expect you to cry. I expect you to have moments. I expect you to call your support network. Make sure you have a strong support network, especially in Dress for Success. And then I expect you, honestly, to know that this is part of the game. Just like life hasn't been perfect for anyone, just know this is part of it. The tougher the challenges, the stronger you'll become. And you'll learn to embrace them, have a breakdown moment, and then come out swinging again, right? And to every challenge you have, be like Christina Aguilera. Thanks for making me a fighter.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's terrific, terrific. I could talk to you all day. Another question coming in is, especially like on Shark Tank or these places where you might be pitching to somebody that doesn't seem all that warm and friendly, or it might be an interview where someone's really serious or is really looking at you with a face and you can't tell if they love you, hate you, or want you to get the heck out of there. How do you keep yourself centered and focused when what you're seeing doesn't necessarily look like they're all warm and inviting for you?
That, when I tell you that happens, that literally happens. And so I have a big gregarious personality. Some people can't take it. I'm gonna be honest, some people can't take it. It doesn't throw me off of my game, but then I'll look for ways to maybe inject humor. I'll look for ways to, and I also want you to understand in your mind, every opportunity is not meant for you. It's just not. If you're feeling like it's not going anywhere, take the pressure off of yourself now. Just take the pressure off. Have fun with it now. And I know you're probably listening, no, how can you have fun? You can't. You know what it means to me to walk away from people who don't respect me, who don't like me? And it's such a good feeling to walk away because my success is not tied to them. This is an opportunity. It may not go well, but they are not the sole reason why you'll succeed. I promise you they're not.
Yeah.
So you keep that ever present in your mind. If it's not going to work out here, that's not the end. Remember, I was homeless, eating out of garbage cans. Those big time people that people always talk about all turned their backs on me because I had fallen that far. And you know who I had to trust in? I had to trust in God and the support network that he put behind me. What I thought would take me 5 to 10 years literally took 1 year.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
So as Joel Osteen always says, run your own race. Also realize every goodbye ain't gone. Every no is not forever. Some of us is not right now. And as you ascend this ladder and remember that everybody has faced challenges, that's part of the game. Not one person is tied to your success. You are. So I'm gonna need you to put in that action, put in that work, and go on.
Yeah, yeah. You have such an amazing story. You've recovered and you've overcome and you have such resilience and grit and confidence because of that. You have earned your confidence because of what you've been through. There are a lot of people that might not have had stories where they had to recover from so many different things, but yet they're still just not that confident for some reason. So for someone like that still struggles with confidence, what would be your advice on how anyone can try to learn to trust themselves and believe in themselves more?
I love that question. I get that a lot when people are like, do I have to be like you to make it? And I'm like, no. Can I be an introvert? I'm like, yes, you can be the quiet storm. First, I don't expect most people to have the story that I have. I just don't. But we all deal with confidence issues. We all deal with self-esteem, insecurities, and things like that. You know what was one of the best things that I did when I was a kid? And growing up into being a teenager and into adult, I used to watch Behind the Music on VH1. I used to watch Lifetime's Intimate Portrait. I used to watch biographies on A&E channel. And I like the true tea that I got. Like, we look at the glitz and glam that people have today, but we don't know what the backstory was. We don't know about the people who lived out of their car. We don't know about people who literally felt like they didn't belong, so they felt awkward wherever they were, until something happened where they were like, listen, I only have one life to live. I only have one. I need to make it count now. I'm in my 40s. I have that kind of attitude where I'm never going to have six-pack abs. Sorry, some of y'all, I'm never going to have six-pack abs. My hair is natural. I wear wigs sometimes. And I found that when I started to embrace the uniqueness of me, I took every perceived flaw and made it my secret weapon: age, race, class, sex, gender, sexual orientation, all of that sort of thing, all the flaws and everything that people put on me, and the sadness I felt that I couldn't measure up to what society thinks is beautiful. When I finally took all of that off and looked at the real me, the natural me, the flawed me, that's when people started to come to me, because I was real. I wasn't a robot. I wasn't a carbon copy. I was me. So I would definitely say to you, take time to share your real self with others. You'd be amazed at how people will love you. You'd be so amazed. When I took off the mask of perfection, when I took off, I'm speaking here, I'm so great, I'm da-da-da-da. When I took off all that and said, y'all, I'm struggling today. In fact, for some of y'all, my father's feet feet were amputated. As you all know, and as you all heard, my father's been a drug addict since he was 18. He is now 65. I have no anger, no bitterness. He's in my heart. I've asked people to pray for him to wrap his feet in love and to wrap his heart in love because I love him. And as I'm doing this today, as I have my speaking engagements, he's wrapped in love. Whatever he did, he's not the sum total of his mistakes. I'm looking at a man today, not who he used to be. So at the end of the day, we're all going through something. No matter how glitzy and glamorous it looks, no matter how wonderful it is, we're still people who are going through things. Listen to other people's stories and find yourself knowing that your story is just as valuable, just as important, whether you have a big personality or you're that quiet storm.
God, that's just beautiful, and you're giving me chills. We just had a viewer write in, and you really just answered it. How did you work to forgive your father and your parents? And what I'm hearing from you is through love and just letting go and just moving forward and not looking back, and just that whole idea of you saying wrapping him with love. I mean, that must be so freeing for you.
It is, and it's not just, and remember, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I have a support network. I can put on Facebook, I keep it a buck. Dr. Kim knows this. I will put something on Facebook. Y'all, prayer warriors, pray for my father. We need to wrap his feet in love. We need to wrap his heart in love. We need to wrap his mind in love. Dr. Kim, once you see prayers, I can put it on Instagram. I can put it on LinkedIn. The medium doesn't matter. My peeps are always there, and they let me know I'm not alone. For my mother, I saw her years ago. We cried. I finally saw my mother as a human being. And she had disappointments, and they made her heart cold. I can identify with that. My mother, she may have been wicked way back when. Today, I just want her to be happy. Yeah. Because I'm happy. I'm happy. The last thing my mother ever said to me was years ago when I was in a psych ward in Brooklyn Center for Psychotherapy. And she told me she was embarrassed that I have a mental illness and that I'm bringing shame on the family. And I heard God tell me, honor her. So as I listened to what she said and tears fell from my eye, I didn't let her hear it. I said, Mom, thank you for giving me life. Thank you for us reconnecting. And I wish you all the best that life has to offer. I'm going to go now, and I haven't spoken to her since. I still wrap her up in love every day. Her challenges are not mine. I have friends. I have a support network. I have God. I have Dress for Success. I have people who love me because I took the mask off and I showed that I'm real and that I have pain. I have scars. I have this. And so with the people that love you, honestly, take off the mask. Show them who you really are and watch them lift you up. And finally, I just want to say this, and Dr. Kim knows this. Today is a soft launch of my MasterCard Priceless ad campaign. And for so long, I felt worthless. And to go from worthless to priceless in less than 3 years. That is the power of rising and thriving, rising above everyone's expectations and thriving regardless. So I want you all to know I didn't come on here to give some song and dance. I came on here for real transformation and to show you the power of Dress for Success. They didn't look at me like, oh, she's homeless. She was an addict. They looked at me like, we're going to introduce you to your next beautiful now. And so I introduce you all to your next beautiful now. You don't know the opportunities around the corner. You don't know who's speaking your name in circles that you don't even know are there. And that's what it means to be a bad bitch with a power of pitch and to be unapologetic AF. I am who I am. I built a tribe that fits my vibe. There is no company that looked at my book and said, ooh, that's a little too crass. They bought it anyway. Do you hear what I'm saying? So walk in your light. Work with the talents that God gave you and double and triple them. The world is ready. And you don't have to look like the Kardashians to do it. You don't.
Oh my, you are just an incredible role model. Everything that you're saying is so important for everyone to hear and how they should be speaking to themselves and being kind to themselves and caring for themselves. And one of our viewers had written in about how when you said you don't have to be perfect and how much that resonated with them, that to be able to let that go. And I know that, you know, you've talked a few times about being in your 40s, and I'm a little bit older than you, and I think that that's one of the gifts of,
We look
of
good,
aging.
don't we, girl?
We look
We
good.
look
You
good,
look
don't
great.
we? We look good, don't we, Queen? Okay.
But don't you find, yes, don't you find that that's a gift, is that as you go along, you don't need to be as perfect as we once thought you had to be. And I bet you find that even in giving your pitches, how you roll along with the punches, right?
Right. And being able to adapt. God bless our young people. God bless them. Because we were there. And now the gift of experience, the gift of freeing ourselves from the box we were all in. Freeing ourselves from what everybody expects us to be. I'm precious. There's some women who feel like they're just mothers and sisters and daughters or whatever. I feel fully formed. I'm Precious L. Williams. I am the killer pitch master. But beyond all of that, I'm a full-figured diva who's taken over the world, and I'm doing it big. And for everyone who threw a brick my way, to all of my queens listening, with every brick thrown my way, I used it to build my empire. So take it all in. They're going to be haters. They're going to be some people all in your grill. And you can smile and keep pressing on, because it's not about them. It's about the next generation who needs to see you do your thing. And as the great Ty Goodwin always says, until you step into your purpose, another woman can't step into hers. And that's why we got to rise and thrive. We got to rise above all circumstances, rise above all expectations, and then thrive and show them how it's done. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be worth it? Like L'Oreal, we're worth it.
Great. I love that. I love that. We have just a couple of minutes left. Some of the questions coming in are, can you use bad bitches and power pitches for everyday life? And then a couple of people are saying that they're looking for other places. Can they find it on Amazon? Like, give us some more ideas of where they can also find you.
Okay, so my website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. On LinkedIn, I am Precious L. Williams, killer pitchmaster. Got to stay on brand. On Instagram, I am at Perfect Pitches P. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. On Twitter, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. If you go to my YouTube, I'm under Precious L. Williams. And if you all go to Clubhouse, I even have a room called Pitch Please, because you know that's what we do. And so that's how you can find me. Also, you can get my books on Amazon, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. You can also get Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook there. However, if you want to support Dress for Success and you want a hand-signed copy, I suggest you go to the Dress for Success website in the marketplace and get it. Also, my third book, Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. You can get that on Amazon and Kindle, in the Kindle store right now, and it comes out April 13th. Or if you want a hand-signed copy, paperback copy, you can write to me at precious@perfectpitchesbyprecious.com or go to LinkedIn and send me a message, and I'll make sure I'll send you the bit.ly link where you can get your own hand-signed copy, because I know it's going to be in the Dress for Success store when it come out.
And now, any of these books, you don't have to just be somebody that's going on a job interview or pitching yourself. It can work for your everyday life. Talk to us just a little bit about that.
So when Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, of course I came up with the title because I'm a 13-time champion, but you're pitching every day anyway. When you're talking to your friend about that no good man, when you're talking about that job you love or hate, when you're talking about, oh my God, this incredible opportunity, what the heck am I going to do? And you're talking to your support network, that's pitching. When you think about pitching, you're not giving them everything. It's like going to your grandma's house. Oh man, all the food is looking good. You like, put it on my plate, I'm about to do this. That first bite, that's a pitch. It's a juicy morsel, an enticement of more to come. You want to get to the next stage of the journey, whether you want them to let you tell your story full out, whether you want to get to a next meeting, whether you get someone to, talk about you in different spaces. Bad Bitches and Power Pitches is all about claiming your rightful place now. You do not need to go on a job interview. You don't even need to be pitching for investments or the media. You just need to know how to present yourself You could be at Whole Foods like I was, running my mouth with the cashier, just. I said, St. Louis. This woman next to me was a CEO of a company I did not even know about. She said, you said St. Louis? I said, yeah. She said, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Word? We get to talking. She said, I thought I heard you say bad bitches. I said, yes, the name of my.
So even in the supermarket, Precious, not to interrupt you, but I get it. You're like, be in the supermarket, at the dinner table, at church, wherever it is, to be able to speak up for yourself. And I think that is such an invaluable thing. So if you guys want to spend more time with Precious, absolutely get that book so you can have her in the comfort of your own home. And Precious and Kim, I can't thank you enough. I think that was just an amazing interview. And Precious, thank you so much for taking so many questions from our viewers. I can't thank you enough. And thank you.
Yes.
And thank you to everyone for submitting all of your questions. I mean, really just so fantastic. It's great to have this much interaction.